Hi, this is the Midweek Motorsport Races Collective highlights of the GTPlanet 4 Hours of Silverstone. I'd like to say a big thank you to AJ, the series planner and race director, for allowing us to make this film. Also need to mention a big thank you to AJ our team manager, who's responsible for the franchise and the entry of this car onto this field today. And also a big thanks to the Midweek Motorsports Races Collective in general. We had a lot of support for this race and getting a very good result. A little bit late to line up, but it's better late than never. As we're about to get underway for our formation lap before race start. First of all, the driver he qualified in second position for Midweek Motorsports Races Collective is Tanky 1. After having a very frantic qualifying section, he managed to grab second position just by chance by putting in 1 minute 54.591, but RCB would also have a much quicker lap as well. AJ also in his qualifying managed to do a 158.381, and during the race he would better that time as well, or just about. Also need to say a big thank you to Steaks TC. He's a master statistician as well as statistician. He pretty much gave us all the numbers we need to do everything to get the result that we got for this race, and what a result we got. Everyone in the team I don't think could be happier with the result. And just as we're about to go racing here, the grid's now coming up to a close and getting ready for the green. As we can see, RCB got a huge jump, leaving Tanky 1 just absolutely in his dust, and the remaining three LMP3 cars all closely together fighting it out before we even hit the line. And Tanky 1 just trying to pull a little bit of a gap as Danger Zone has to try and attack but defend his position at the exact same time. It's never an easy thing to do. But we keep going, and after a very early pit from RCB that put Tanky 1 in the lead of the Midweek Motorsports Races Collective entry, and he'd be also getting a lot of pressure from GTP Danger Zone from behind, and this would also span on for many laps at a time. It was a great battle. They raced very hard. Just as a good rhythm is about to get going, we see Tanky 1 just going off, giving the lead to GTP Danger Zone of the Turtle Racing LMP3 entry. And Tanky would now have his work cut out for him to make that gap back up and also navigate traffic at the same time, which Tanky 1 seemed to struggle a bit, losing ground on the leader of the race. But would be doing everything you can to make it back up. Again, making a very aggressive move to take all the GT4 cars, almost all of them, and to pass them all cleanly and safely without causing any harm or damage and in hindering his lap. And now, a few laps down the road, Tanky 1 is right on the chuffs of GTP Danger Zone, looking to put a lot of pressure on him. We also had very great tyre wear for this race, which allowed us to really keep up the pressure for laps and laps and laps to come. But this will just continue on. And splitting the GT4 car, Tanky would go around the outside, and didn't expect to end up wheel to wheel with Danger Zone, but here we are, very close, very tight, almost just a smidge of contact. Tanky holds the inside and goes to reassume the lead of this race once again, and will be working very hard to try and make any kind of gap as possible. And after an undercut by Danger Zone, it puts them back in the lead of the race. They're making their first pit stop of the stint. and Tanky 1 just sliding off, just increasing their gap, which would be the start of quite a few mistakes from Tanky, but a few laps down the road it ends right back up under his chuffs. Trying to pressure as much as he can. Also, having made a pit stop, he's got very good tyres. And just having a bit of a slide there, putting it in a bit too deep. But again, just applying massive amounts of pressure and then over rotating again. Tanky 1's stint was pretty good, but a lot of mistakes occurred under pressure. And this would be it. And this almost killed the race. Looks to have a slight contact with the GT4 car, putting the pace right back down to 1 minute 58. And would then again start to come back just off pace to 156 and then the flawless pit stop. Motorsports Races Collective, AJ, our team director, is now in the car and ready for his stint. And what a stint he would put in, coming out behind RCB and doing his best. Also just having to dodge a lot of traffic on his stint too, actually. And he did so extremely well, probably better than the other two drivers of that entry as well. He maintained his closest to his qualifying laps, also while during passing traffic, where Tanky struggled quite a lot actually with passing cars and maintaining lap speed at the same time, which, as a lot of us all know, it's not an easy thing to do. Now we got Choco Chip from Turtle Racing closing in on AJH. AJH just driving unfazed at all. He just holds his lines, put the car where he needs to put it, and just keep on driving, as he did so well over this whole entire stint. He would go through this whole entire stint without any complication, to be honest. And us, Choco Chip, just putting a bit of a forward drift passing, probably just a little bit deep on the brakes, and then would immediately start to gap AJH as the race went on. Andy's personal efficiency just kept us right in the game here, just absolutely flawless. And for some odd reason, Choco Chip in the Turtle Racing entry just pulls over to the side and pulls right back behind an Andy H to resume the battle again. We don't know why. Maybe he felt that he made a illegal pass, or we don't know why he had to readdress the position, but he did. So we'll take the time ahead in the lead again, I'm sure, no worries. As we come into the S complex here, Maggots and Beckett's, I think. Choco Chip just looking to get a really good run on AJH, as that car showed a lot of good straight line speed, even while the Midweek Motorsports Races Collective LMP3 car would try and slipstream from these guys. They seem to have pretty much little to no effect. As you can see, the gap's just closing and closing and closing and closing. And now, just keeping the pressure on AJH, but just look at Andy. He just keeps driving. Doesn't do anything wrong, just drives his line. And Choco Chip just getting very close indeed, as they're running both into the first turn. AJH, over the time of his stint, he would put down, his testing times were 1:57's best lap of his race on his stint was a 1:58.5. His average lap would be closer to 2 minutes, but his personal efficiency was just higher than anyone else in the team. And Choco Chip just putting the pass on him, even doing another forward drift past him. It's almost like they're teasing us, but they certainly put up such a great fight. And at the end of the day, the strategies played by the teams would prove to see who won the race. And Choco Chip just coming in now for his pits, and that would hand the lead back to the Midweek Motorsports Races Collective. And Andrew H would certainly just keep on going as he does. But also we gained, or more so, we didn't lose nowhere near as much time on our driver changes as some other teams did. It was just flawless. As we watch AJH just doing what he does, having such a great drive here. Running a bit in open space, but over the two stints it looked like he would pass the most amount of traffic, although Stick TC also had to pass a lot of traffic too. But just running in free air, just nice and happy, letting the car do what it does, and enjoying the most of that great amazing tyre wear that we all enjoyed over our stints. And over the whole time of the race, the whole duration, the Midweek Motorsports Races Collective would only lose about 3 minutes 16 seconds on total driver swaps getting in and out of the cars and lobbies, which isn't too bad. I actually wouldn't mind knowing what other team statistics was. Again, all this great information provided by Sticks TC, just so great with numbers, working out what needs to go where, how, why, giving us all the data we needed to get the results that we did, which, without sounding too modest, we weren't expecting, but we'll take it as it comes. Now RCB's closed up, and also taking position from AJH, as they were running on a completely different strategy altogether, where they pitted in very early on the very first stint. And again, AJH gets passed by a faster car, but he just keeps banging out those 1 minute 58s, and he will continue to do so all the way up until his pit stop, until his stint ended. And now the stint is done. Sticks TC will get in the car. Now Sticks TC is just jumping in the car, and now we're on board on his out laps. Race he would have, taking the Midweek Motorsport Races Collective LMP3 Mazda LM55 to victory lane at the end of this 4 hours hosted by GTPlanet. Again, a big thanks to AJ for allowing us to make this highlights reel for the team. And now Sticks TC just trailing some GT4 traffic down into T1 and making a nice clean pass. Well, what can we say about Mr. Sticks TC over here? Just an amazing race driver he is. He just beats everyone, pretty much everyone on our team. He comes up with the numbers, datas, everything we need to do to run such a race that we ran. And just a major contributor altogether. And just displaying his dominance on the field here and also in our club. The wealth of knowledge he has and experience, he certainly put that all on display and into use today. Now we got another two LMP3 cars right up ahead, which he is just starting to close in on now, with RCB just ahead, who did set the fastest qualifying time to put their car on pole, just one spot on the grid ahead of our entry. Sticks is just looking to try and find a way around and just get through cleanly and get on with his own racing, his own stint. Some of the main strengths, we're getting very close there. Some of the main strengths that we had with this car was particularly off in the corners, where Some of our corner speeds were maybe even from 10 to 15 kilometers up on the competition on the apex. And Stig's just setting his sights on RCB. And now inside the hour to go, he's just completely charging. And he is battling with the Total Racing LMP3 entry, which they did start on the grid third, just one spot behind us. A lot of pit strategies did go on here. We had people try to undercut us. We undercut Turtle Racing, and that just came to very unpredictable race events where it was looking like all top three cars on the starter on the grid were in contention of taking the win. But bad luck, good luck, and very good strategies planned would play out. This thing's getting ever so close to the Turtle Racing entry. Just shadowing him now right through Maggots and Beckett's complex. And sticking right up his chuffs. We were also very lucky to enjoy such a great tyre life on this car, allowing us to push in a big slide. Luckily he's not lost much time. He's right at pit lane entry where he goes, takes in, and this is where we made our undercut on the field, which would put us on a really good contention, giving us a shorter fill on the tank and giving us range all the way to the end, as well as the tyres would also hold out for that range as well. Where Stig's over this period would, for the time being, set the fastest lap of the race. With the 1 minute 55.0, but again RCB would also counteract that with a 1 minute 54.5, which was still quite a bit faster than ours. Here we go, RCB chasing Stig's TC. And when that car had some fresh tyres on, it was lightning fast. Stig's told us that, we thought that he was just going to blow right past, but fate would come into play. A little bit of collisions with other cars would tell their side. And also, for Stig's benefit here, he suggested a song. So I'm going to put a very special song on for his stint, and then this one's for him. He might get a bit of a chuckle out of it, I don't know. But we'll see what he thinks. With now 38 minutes left. And he's suited and booted right to the end. Showing 10 on the tyres, almost a quarter of a tank of fuel, which is plenty to get us right through to the end. Coming up on some GT4 traffic here. RCB shadowing, stalking, and just having a big moment out of Beckett's. And RCB falling off there, maybe a bit of problems with the GT4 car now inside the half an hour mark. 29 minutes to go, 28. Stig's just making his way through the traffic. After he passes these gaggle of cars, he would get clear track for quite a while and just keep hammering out laps, which he would very consistently, 1 minute 55s. Just clearly the fastest out of the team that drove in this event. You see the size difference between LMP3 and the GT4 cars. Quite nice to look at. It's such a great looking car too. We had a long decision about the colour of the car, but we ended up with the Azuro blue, courtesy of looking from a Lancia Stratos. We decided that this will be our colour, and as we are coming up to what would be the final lap, oh, and we take the checkered flag. It was such a relief, and pretty much almost unexpected, but this man right here, Sticks DC, he put the car over the finish line and just having a bit of a celebration there, as he should. He drove very hard. Now as we take the checker, he still looks like to be on pace here. There's maybe one more lap to complete, but either way we've taken the checkered flag. The Midweek Motorsports Races Collective has won the 4 hours of Silverstone, hosted by GTPlanet. And for some of us that had to go to sleep, or just me, got to wake up to some very great news. Seeing the picture of our car with the checkered flag as he's making his way to Parc Fermé. And then again, just a little bit more celebration. Again, thank you to the team. The team put in such a great effort. We had numerous test drivers to help feeding us data. We had Stick TC giving us enormous amounts of data for fuel numbers, tyre numbers, you name it. Everything we needed to know he provided. A big thank you to AJ, our team director. He got us this franchise, he got us this wonderful car, and he himself put in such a magnificent stint to not even put so much as a scratch on that car. And this will be the result now. He's heading over to Parc Fermé. Again, it was a very tough race, but it was lots of fun as well. I cannot wait for the next round. Again, just keep celebrating. I think the next round is Monza. We're not expecting to do exactly the same thing. We're aiming to do the exact same thing, but we expect competition will be just as fierce. And Monza is a great circuit, lots of straights, lots of a few technical sections as well. And the team is already hard at work testing, and also too, we suspect after such a great result, we also have now got a car in the LM GTE for the 6 hours of Spa, which will testing, and hopefully we're going to make the grid for Spa, the Nürburgring, and also to the team setting sights on the LM54, which is just, it's an amazing race. It would be an honour to drive at that race if we qualify, which we're all hard at work doing. Lots going on in the Midweek Motorsport Races Collective camp. Lots more racing to be had, and Sticks TC also races with other teams. Also just won the 12-hour race that just went by. I forget exactly which one, but he's also enjoying success in other teams on the GTPlanet Endurance series, which is just an amazing series. It was great to have my first race in this, and I'm sure AJ would be feeling the exact same way. I was just blown away by the way they present this race. The live stream was amazing. The commentators they have are just, you guys are like watching the RLM squad on the WEC. It was just a pleasure to be in, and it was a pleasure to race in. We thank you very much for awarding the franchise and allowing us to race in such a great series. We're all looking forward to future races, and hopefully more series to come, as this was just such a blast. And as we were just about to head into pit lane for the car to enter pits on the number 1 spot. Pit lane never would have been so busy during a race, but it's just bumper to bumper here, almost like sitting in Gold Coast traffic in peak hour. It's not fun, except none of us have horns in the game here, not on these cars. Sticks DC is just about to put it into our pit box. And again, thank you to AJ for allowing us to make this video. I hope anyone enjoys this video who watches it. It's bye from the Midweek Motorsports Races Collective. Thank you very much for watching.